friends, Kevin Shirka here, the Indiana Jones nerd, yet again. Well, my friends, as you've probably noticed, I've been away from the channel for a long time, several months. As I've mentioned to some of you, my PC crashed back in November, right before Indiana Jones and the Great Circle came out, which was pretty terrible timing, so I didn't get to cover that game the way that I had hoped, and ever since then, I've been kind of focusing on some other things, but, you know, I still drop in every now and then, but this is my first video in a while. Some news came out that, in my opinion, is pretty huge, actually. So I'll just cut right to the chase. This is an absolute shocker. So every year, a group of comic book fans put on a poll, which is for what is Marvel's most anticipated potential omnibus. What is the most wanted omnibus? Omnibus being a collection of comic books that'll come in like a book form. And so this has gone on for like 13 years. They've been doing this, and this year, for the first time ever, Indiana Jones has made it onto that list of the top 60 Indiana Jones, of the top 60 Marvel comic books that comic book fans want to see. And not only has it made it onto the list for the first time, but Indiana Jones came number 1 and number 4. Number 1 for the Marvel series and number 4 for the Darkhorse series, which is absolutely insane. Like, I did not expect this at all. I remember a few months ago when this poll was happening, you know, I shared the link here and there, but I didn't think that Indy out of nowhere was going to get number 1. This is such a shocker, and it really shows that out of nowhere, the Indiana Jones brand has returned, and people want to see Indiana Jones again. And I think that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is the reason for that, because, you know, the film, the last Harrison Ford film came in 2023. It, you know, sparked some interest in the brand, but I think this video game that came out in December on Xbox and PC, and then especially coming out on PlayStation last month while this poll was going on, I think was a big part of it, because it got people thinking about Indiana Jones again. And you know, I was listening to some other podcasts, and they were saying that basically Marvel fans have been going through all of the Star Wars and whatever, Planet of the Apes and different things, different movie franchises, and getting them to get interest in those again, and a lot of them have been coming out, and so now like Indiana Jones is like the next big one that they need to tackle. But the fact that it came out of nowhere, having never been on the list before, and making it to number 1 and number 4 this year is really exciting, I think, for us indie fans, and it really shows that the that the brand is back, the franchise is back. People are excited about Indiana Jones again. Man, it's great. So the other thing that I really need to emphasize about this is that this poll that they do every year is like a really well-known thing, and Marvel looks at it. You know, a lot of online stuff, you know, people do, like, it probably, you don't expect it to make a difference, but this poll is one that is actually well-known to be something that Marvel looks at, and Marvel acts on it. Like, a lot of times the from what I've read, the high-ranking finishers on this poll are given an omnibus by Marvel in the near future. So, man, what a dream come true for us. You know, when I first got into Indiana Jones, like really big, back in like around the year 2000 or so, one of the first things I did, saw the movies, and I bought all of the comic books. And to me, comic books, like, they're another movie. Like, they're such a great visual medium for storytelling, and you have, of course, artists contributing some wonderful artwork and just giving us more of the brands that we love. In this case, Indiana Jones, the hero that we love, that sense of adventure and history and supernatural and all of those things that we love about Indiana Jones. When there were only 3 Indiana Jones movies, and there are only a few video games as well, there were still, dozens of visual Indiana Jones stories available to me as a young fan, and that was these comic books. So, Marvel was the original publisher of the Indiana Jones comics back in the 80s. They did adaptations of the first 3 films, of course, and they did I believe 34-issue series called The Further Adventures of Indiana Jones, which was the first kind of on-running series of Indiana Jones works, the longest, really, series of adult Indiana Jones adventures that we ever got in any medium, to have gone for 34 installments, and have a lot of great episodes in there. You guys maybe have seen my motion comic of the first 2 issues, which is The Icons of Akaminen, which is a really great story arc, seeing Indy go to a fictional country in Africa, but just having a really great Raiders of the Lost Ark feel. And there are some great stories throughout the whole series. There's one where Indy and Marion go to the Himalayas, and they find Abner Ravenwood, it's kind of left ambiguously, but a lot of characters from the first 2 movies come up in little cameos here or there. Short Round is in one of these comic books from the original Marvel Further Adventure series. Marion and Marcus are in quite a few. Captain Katanga as well is in one of these issues. So lots of great stuff in there. But then for me, and so the Marvel stuff, of course, is the number 1 on this list, which kind of makes sense because Marvel. In my opinion, the Darkhorse comics are where it's at. Those are the best Indiana Jones comics. And a big part of that actually has to do with LucasArts, with the video game branch of Lucasfilm in the 1990s, who were, putting out a lot of great adventure games, the classic point-and-click adventure games. Obviously, like Curse of Monkey Island is one of the most famous ones, but also Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. And so we had some great writers, in particular Hal Barwood over at LucasArts, who was coming up with these great stories. One of them was Fate of Atlantis, which of course became an iconic game and then was adapted as the first Indiana Jones comic book by Darkhorse. But Barwood was also involved slightly in brainstorming ideas for some other Indiana Jones video games, which never saw the light of day. One of them was Indiana Jones and the Iron Phoenix, and the other was Indiana Jones and the Spear of Destiny. And both of those stories were adapted into comic books by Darkhorse in this era. And I mean, those 3 are some of the very best of this era in terms of the Darkhorse comic books. There are some other really great ones, though. Sargasso Pirates is a lot of fun, just a really unique adventure. And Thunder in the Orient. There's quite a few of them. And you also have the Young Indiana Jones comics in there as well. And then in around 2008-2009, we got a few more Indiana Jones comic books from Darkhorse. Unfortunately, it was kind of a short-lived era. They were trying to, get things going again. But, Indiana Jones 4 got some interest in the brand back, but not enough to keep that cycle going for more than a few years. And we had hoped that Dial of Destiny in 2023 would spark something like that again. And unfortunately, there were no official Indiana Jones comic books made, in that current cycle that we're in. We never got an official comic book adaptation of Dial of Destiny, the only indie film which did not get a comic book. And we didn't get any original comics either from Marvel or Darkhorse. And there was, I don't remember what the interview was, but there was maybe it was on the Indy cast or something they were talking about. They talked to somebody, and he was basically saying that nobody at Marvel is even talking about Indiana Jones right now. That was back around 2022, 2023, which was really disappointing. Thankfully, there have been some fans who have made fan-made Indiana Jones comics, and so that's nice. But like I was saying, like we hoped that Dial of Destiny would give us that cycle again, that we would get some more comics and all the indie stuff, and it didn't quite happen. But in a way, maybe it kind of did, because I think in part because of Dial of Destiny happening, Todd Howard and Bethesda got the green light to make their Indiana Jones video game Great Circle, which itself is the one, in my opinion, that really rejuvenated things for the Indiana Jones brand. And now we're back to this situation that we're in now, which is that people are excited about Indiana Jones again. People are talking about Indiana Jones again. They want more of Indiana Jones, which is great, which is always the thing that we wanted. And for us fans, it means so much that we've got to this point that like we might actually get some new Indiana Jones comics, because Indy is a brand that is like it's such a neglected brand. I mean, we would get in the 80s, like a film would pop up every couple of years, and that sort of continued. Like every couple of years maybe something will pop up, maybe it's a video game or a comic book or different stuff, but late 90s, early 2000s, it was pretty slow. And then especially from 2010 to, like 2022, like for more than a decade, there was absolutely nothing. No new Indiana Jones adventures. And then finally things have started going again now, which is, so you guys can tell why I'm so excited about this and shocked about this, because it felt like, it was kind of over, after Dial of Destiny came out, and it didn't really do the numbers that it needed to, and it didn't really get the interest that it needed to. There was this feeling that, maybe the Indiana Jones brand is done. But now, with this announcement and with the video game, and also we have the Disney World attraction, which is being built to come out in 2027. So, it seems like things are finally on the right track again. And this particular announcement for me is really exciting, because it proves that those things are working, that people are actually excited about Indiana Jones again. Like, this is a fan poll. This is like, people on the internet who love comic books, and they love Indiana Jones too, and they want to get more, and that's like what the brand has really been lacking. Like ever since Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, like there was a lot of pessimism about the brand. People weren't really that interested anymore, and you saw that with Dial. People didn't really go out to see it. But then the video game, like I said, I think has rejuvenated a lot of that. All right, I feel like I keep repeating myself now, so I think I'm just about gonna wrap it up here. I am, gonna be still going pretty slow on this channel. Like I said, like my PC crashed, I haven't been able to replace it yet, and like I said, I'm just kind of focusing on some other stuff, but I'm still here, I'm still around, I'll still post some stuff every now and then, just to keep people talking, but, there have been some other Indiana Jones content creators who have, risen a little bit here in recent times, so it's still a great time to be a fan, and people are creating stuff which is great. So be sure you hit like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to me here. Be sure you check out all of the Indiana Jones Facebook groups, because people are always posting stuff over there as well. And yeah, if you love Indiana Jones like us, just get involved in the community, and we'll keep this excitement for Indiana Jones going. Alright, I think that's pretty much all there is to say. Thanks so much for watching my video, and I wish you all fortune and glory. Bye-bye. And do be sure to check out my motion comics of some of the Indiana Jones comics here that I've done. I'll put the links right here at the end. Thank you. Bye-bye.